Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to everyone. Um, Inshallah, today I will be presenting a paper on a topic called a review of ChatGPT in English writing among educators. My name is Azizah binti Abdul Majid, and I am writing this paper in collaboration with Dr. Ilyana Ismarau, and we are both from Pusat Tamhidi Usim. Okay, so let's begin with the first part of the presentation, which is the content. So I will be presenting on on the introduction of this topic, followed by the advantages of utilizing ChatGPT in English writing. And then I'll move on to the limitation of ChatGPT in English writing and also the challenges in ChatGPT use in writing and moving on to the ethical concern. So this paper will look at the overview of what ChatGPT is all about because it has revolutionized the way we do everything, especially in the academia. Okay, so basically the rapid advancement of AI has introduced innovative tools that significantly influence diverse aspects of human life. Among these are ChatGPT, developed by OpenAI, that has emerged as a powerful tool in the realm of writing and communication. So ChatGPT has also been introduced to the virtual realm in the late 2022. So the magnitude of its growth has been overwhelming that it has reached 100 million active users just after 2 months after its launch, which was reported in Reuters in 2023. So since then, the various industry around the world have expressed their concern as to whether this open AI will be replacing the role of human beings in the various industries, eliminating numerous jobs, whether engineer, pharmacists, copywriter, teachers, and so on. This is taken from Agrawal et al. In 2023. So moving on to the next part of the presentation is the advantages of ChatGPT in English writing. So as we all know, at this stage of our life, I think to a certain extent, we have been the active user of ChatGPT, irrespective of our age group and also our area of specialization. So if we talk about the advantages of ChatGPT, there are many advantages that we can look at. Yeah. But my concern here is that we're going to look at it in the English writing perspective. So ChatGPT is effective as at fixing language mistakes, making content quickly, and also maintaining a consistent style. So if you're talking about the language style and also the accuracy in sentence structure and also in terms of grammar, you will see that ChatGPT is amazing, is doing this job. So the second point is it has access to various amount of information, making it valuable resources for producing content with up-to-date and accurate information. So having ChatGPT in writing, it actually help us in brainstorming and also starting off our write-ups because it offers you vast amount of information and it is actually pretty much recent and up to date. And the third point is ChatGPT can assist researchers and innovators in generating new concept and technology. It helps us to create probably what you call developing a theory, or developing a new concept, coming out with what you call a blueprint of something that we are working on. To a certain extent, sometimes our few hours that we spend on ChatGPT is much more fruitful than having a discussion or a conversation in a meeting with human beings. Okay, that is the significance of ChatGPT and its advantages. However, like any other things in the world, it has its own limitation, which is in English writing, ChatGPT struggle with the understanding complex sentences, language, emotion, and human values, especially if we, as an English writer or as an English educator, sometimes we deal with context or write-ups such as poems, novels that uses a lot of our emotion of human beings and our experience when we write. We do have that, but as an AI, AI doesn't have that. So they don't have the emotion. They don't experience such emotions like human do. So that is something that that is the limitation of ChatGPT. So in terms of personal experiences, it lacks the experience that human being has, and in terms of contextual understanding that human can actually feel. It cannot feel a certain write-up or certain creative artwork just like human beings, because human beings have that experience and creativity that enables them to write, because they are what do you call, when a writer writes, they are emotionally charged. So when we write at best when we feel our emotion and we experience something and we think that we need to jot it down and we need to document it. So AI cannot do that. Yeah, so that is the limitation. So if you were to see the work of a human and the work of an AI, you will see that there's a difference between the language use and the vocabulary use. You see that human uses more emotionally charged language and more enriched in terms of vocabulary. It's not as monotonous as AI. Yeah. Okay. ChatGPT's limitation become evident in articles and sensitive discussion where it lacks of emotional depth and understanding that hamper meaningful engagement. For example, you cannot ask certain things about ethical values, about gender, about religion. So sometimes it can actually give you a different or absurd perspective that lack the understanding of humans, because we as a humans we are culturally and ethically and religiously enriched with such knowledge. So probably AI cannot do that 100% like human. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the challenges in using ChatGPT. Okay, number one is lack focus and specificity. So ChatGPT may lack focus and specificity in research writing, as it provides outlines and elaborates on topics but may not synthesize information accurately. So as a researcher or as a writer or as an educator, we have to counter check whatever information provided by ChatGPT. Sometimes the sources that they give might not be accurate, it might not be recent, and sometimes you have to check that the link or the paper that they suggested sometimes doesn't exist. So you have to be really careful. But it is a wonderful tool for us to start off our research or our paper or our whatever planning related to our teaching. So it helps, but you have to just to be careful with it. And in the issue of plagiarism arises as well. The issue of plagiarism arises when AI assistant is involved, and it can be challenging to measure the writer's contribution beyond what the AI has synthesized. So we cannot just simply cut and paste whatever that we have taken from the AI, from ChatGPT, because we have to really have our own input in order to make things authentics. Okay. And then the last one is the verifying the truthfulness of information generated by AI can be challenging. So to what extent do we have a mechanism or capacity to detect the authenticity of the content? And that is questionable. So at this point, I think we have some sort of mechanism, but it's not really commercialized yet. Okay. So moving on to the ethical concern related to ChatGPT. So some of the ethical concern, like before, is the issue of plagiarism, bias, misinformation, and malicious use of content. And that is most popular in the internet service. Okay. And users should be aware of this concern and take steps to address them, such as carefully selecting inputs and verifying the accuracy of generated text. And solutions such as developing tools to detect fake news and propaganda are proposed to combat this issue. And some of the ethical issues, such as issue of gender, yeah. So because as a human, we can differentiate between a man and a woman, but sometimes ChatGPT they they actually accept those people who are transgender or those who choose not to have gender. Yeah, so they recognize that and they allow it to be part of their content. But in as a human, for us as a Muslim as well, especially, we do not condone. We do not conform to that. To that, what do you call, to that understanding. So for us, there is a clear cut between a man and a woman, but ChatGPT recognizes people who choose not to have gender. So sometimes they can be a he and they can be a she. All right, so that's about it. Okay, as a conclusion, while ChatGPT offers benefits in English writing such as improved accuracy, speed, and access to information, it is also important to understand its limitation and the need for human creativity and judgment in writing process. So ethical consideration must be taken into account, and users should use ChatGPT responsibly and critically. So it is a wonderful tool for us to start off our project or our research, but we should not be depending on it 100% because it has its own limitation and it has its own challenges that need to be ironed out. So thank you so much for your time and for your what do you call, understanding in listening to my presentation. From Pusat Tamhidi, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.